In about 10 seconds, we're going to start with a pillar push-up. So in a plank position now, and then climb up right arm, climb up left arm, climb down right arm, climb down left arm. 2. There we go. Up, up, down, down. Probably wider in the feet. Our goal is to minimize any hip rotation, right? So if you think about driving yourself up, try to drive the hips up together. Not a lot of waving side to side in the hips. Should be kind of a uniform effort. Drive through the right arm. As you're driving through the right, you can probably still put some effort on your left arm, right? Almost like a hammer fist, driving into the floor. In about 20 seconds, we'll go into core extensions. I mentioned it earlier, but I wasn't recording. 6 different series of 4 exercises today. In 10 seconds, roll to your back, core extensions. 8, 3. Main goal here, low back down, right? My head can be down. I can take 4 limbs up. If I feel confident, comfortable, everything reaches, low back stays down, draw back in. Alternatively, I can bend the knees a little bit and same 4-point movement. That's still crazy, opposites left and right, right and left. But low back should be tightly anchored here. And then as we fatigue, if there's fatigue over the 50-second set, don't reach so far, right? Or then start to bend your knees. In 15 seconds, we're going to roll into a quad plank. So knees 90, shoulders 90, hips 90. 10 seconds to go. 5. Good. Sharing the weight between our hands and our toes, right? Knees should be off the ground. Just going to set the shoulders down and then just hang tight. Knees maybe like a 1/2 inch off the ground. Shoulders should have 90 degrees, hips 90. Breathe a little bit here. I found myself this morning drawing circles with my body. So my feet, hands stay stationary, but then I started to just make little hip circles, right? One on one way, just to kind of delay the set and, I don't know, distract myself. In 15 seconds on our feet, a single leg front and side raise. Light weights. 5. Good. My bottom knee or my supporting leg is bent. Other leg up. 1 to side, come back down real slow, 1 to front. And we only have to go parallel as far as height, right? Parallel to the floor. If the weights are heavy, you can swing them quickly, right? If they're light, take your time and add a pause. Little pause. If you're looking for extra traps on the side raise, draw the shoulders back, right? So it's more of a pull here versus just a side raise. So front, sure, and then if you want a little more traps, draw the shoulders back a little bit of a pinch. 15 seconds out, and then back to our first station. Wider feet. If you stayed on one arm for the entire set last time, make sure you switch sides here. 5. 2. Good. Pillar push-up. Forearms down, climb up, climb down. Again, check the hips, right? Hips are stable. Not quite as much as like a push-up shoulder grab, but definitely keep those hips nice and still as we travel. If you get stuck, you can drop the knees or just rest in that plank position for a moment. 20 seconds to go. 10. 2. Let's roll to our backs for core extensions. Most of you guys have had a towel under your back at some point, right? In the gym for core extensions. So set those hips back and down. Trap the low back. Nice, easy extension. Thinking about trying to keep that rib cage closed down as well, right? A lot of tension on the front side. Probably inhaling as we reach overhead and extend the body. Exhale as we come tall, but load the core as much as we can. 20 seconds to go. Number 3 was the quad plank. That's our next thing. 15 seconds here. 5. There's a little more shoulder fatigue going into the quad plank this time. But shoulders 90, knees 90, hips 90. Set yourself up. Nice, easy knee hover. And if we need to, we'll draw little circles kind of with the hips, right? Just to offset the effort and to distract yourself. If you need to rest here, shoot the hips up into pike. Try not to set the knees down, right? Shoot the hips. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths. We're well over halfway. In 15 seconds, we'll go single leg, front and side raise. Don't let the 15 count deter your effort here. 10. 3, good, hold it. 2, make sure we switch legs. The stabilizing legs bent slightly right, other knees next to tall core, active. Don't lean back here on the front side raise. 1 to front, 1 to side. Again, if it's light, we can put a little bit of speed in it, right? A little bounce even. Excuse me, if it's heavy, bounce. If it's light, slow it down. After single leg front and side raise, we have a nice long rest period. We'll get into our second set of 4 exercises. 20 seconds here. 10. You guys are all good. I wish I could shorten. I guess I could shorten the rest period, but I don't know. I don't know if I need to. I have a lot of thumbs up. I see a lot of this. Yes, please. Rest, guys. First thing, squat jump with a pulse. So we're gonna hit 1 pulse. 1 hop, 1 pulse, 1 hop. Don't worry too much about the height of the jump, right? It's just a little jump, nice soft landing. Number 2, from a plank position, marching plank, left and right, right and left and right, right and left, traveling a little bit. Number 3 is an offset push-up. If you have something to put your hand on, we'll use it. Maybe 4 to 6 inches in height. If you don't have something, you can always stagger the hands, one higher than the other through a push-up. In 15 seconds, we'll start. Last thing, single arm, supported, bent over row. So a normal bent over row. Heavy weight there. 5 seconds out. Squat jump with a pulse first. 3, 2, 1 jump. Soft landing, right? Again, not worried about height. Find yourself nice and deep in the pulse though. 1 good pulse at the bottom of every squat jump. 1 pulse at the bottom. 1 pulse at the bottom. If you like some air here, throw some air in. Probably landing on our toes, right? Settle in the heels. Set the heels down. 1 pulse, sit back into it. Get some glutes and hamstrings. In 20 seconds, marching plank. Goal is left and right same time, right? I'm going to pause. Travel slowly. I'm pressing through my foot or my ankle. Extend through the ankle as I come back. Nice and smooth. 5. Good, here we go. Marching plank. Forearms down. Keep the hips squared up, left, right, right, left. If you don't have a lot of space, just travel 1 or 2 forward, 1 or 2 back. And if you pay attention to your hip bones, right? Not a lot of rotation. Trying to anticipate the load before I lift the opposite arm and leg off the ground. Kind of stabilize the body. Nice, smooth draw. 20 seconds to go. Our next exercise will stay on the ground for the offset push-up. 1 hand high, 1 hand low. 10 seconds out. 2. Good. Depending on what you have, right? Just demoing with my water bottle for fun. 1 hand high, 1 hand low. If it feels stressful in the shoulder or elbow, limit the depth. A 1 hand a little higher in or 1 hand staggered higher than the other one. The push-up doesn't change. The core is tight. The glutes are tight. Inhale on the drop. Press firmly. Take your exhale. You can squeeze the rib cage down to the top just for a little pause, right? A little core activation. Then you can rest there. 15 seconds out. Last thing is a dumbbell bent over row. In 5. Good. I've got a trusty foam roll, right? My hand is on my roll. It's hard to see because it's black on black. But from a nice flat back position, I'm going to draw. You want your torso to be almost parallel to the floor, right? So I could be all the way down to here as long as it feels okay in my back and I have enough support in that front arm. This angle is also okay. But the taller I am in positioning, the more trap I'm going to feel. So if I pull from here, it's going to be a whole bunch of shoulder, right? So I want to make sure my angle is steep enough to where I get some of the mid back. 15 seconds. 10. 2. Good squat jump with a pulse again. 1 pulse, 1 hop. "25 seconds, guys." There was this really weird buzzing noise in here, and it sounded like a huge bumblebee. Just the TV. But I spent the last 5 minutes trying to figure out where this bee was so I could fight it. 10 seconds out, I'd run like a girl. Or no, sorry, no offense. Oh man. Next thing, marching plank. I mean, I'd run like a 3-year-old boy. That's what I meant. I'd run away like my boys. 4, down guys, left, right, right, left. Take your time. Imagine your favorite beverage on your back, right? It's very slow. Almost spending more time in the air than on the ground. Nice pause. Take your reach, left and right. Pause for a second. Feel stable there. 20 seconds to go. 15. You get stuck, just hold an active plank, stay down. In 5 seconds, going back into that offset push-up. 1 high, 1 low. Make sure we switch sides again. If it bugs your shoulder, don't go so deep, right? If you can only get down about halfway and then back up, fantastic. And one shoulder might be a little more cranky than the other one with depth, which is fine. Should be pain-free on these push-ups. If you feel good, pick up the tempo a bit after offset push-ups, back into our single arm bent over row. 20 seconds to go. 10. Squeeze in a few more reps. 3, 2. Good switching arms on row again, somewhat close to parallel from a body position. Draw the elbow back and around the body. When you finish that row, try to figure out how much tension can you create between the bicep, tricep, and lat. So pinch it all down and together. Think about jamming your bicep into the lat, right? So nice tight pull. Pause there for a second. Probably inhale, reach, exhale, pull. 20 seconds to go, and then a nice rest. Ten. Good, some air, guys. Brief. After the rest, first thing is an alternating pistol squat. If I have something to sit to, I can extend my leg, have a seat, right? Stand up, switch sides. So alternating pistol squat for number 1. Second thing, plank with hip rotation. Hips up like 2 or 3 inches, rock and roll side to side, hips up over the top, right? Plank with hip rotation. Number 3, single leg RDL with a curl. Just going to stay on one side for duration. Last thing, a push-up with a pulse. So number 1, find something you can sit to or TRX strap, but it's a pistol squat on one side, stand, switch legs, other side. 5 seconds until we go. 2. Alternating pistols here. Couple ways to run the pistol, right? The leg can be out long, it can run in parallel, or that heel can be down on the ground. Depending on which one you like, take it away, right? And then if you want to be a little creative, you can add a little bit of a hop switch here. So a little bit of a hop between. 25 seconds. Second exercise, plank with hip rotation. Forearms down, hips up over the top. Nice, big, side to side. 10. 3. Good, forearms down, rock and roll, hips side to side. And we're thinking about keeping the opposite forearm driven down. So as we come over to one side, keep the forearm nice and tight. Hips to the left, forearm smashes down on the right. $20 seconds, guys. Ten. Third exercise, a single leg RDL with a curl. Go to 2 dumbbells in hand, medium weights, right? Reach that foot high, tip the body forward, be stable. Stand tall, a little bit of a knee tuck to a curl. And I can spend time down here. Less about tempo here, more about just control. And also trying to catch your breath. This is a good station to try to feel a little refreshed, right? I can almost breathe anytime I want with this one. Versus the next one being a push-up with a pulse. There's a lot of effort throughout that. 15 seconds out. Pinch the biceps a little bit at the top. As we pull the knee, feel the core tighten. 10. 3. Good, into a push-up position. Drop down, 1 pulse, 1 press. Trying not to lead through the chin, right? Take the sternum down first. Core stays tight. $20 seconds out. After push-up with a pulse, we go back to our first exercise, the alternating pistol squat. 10 seconds. Good, alternating pistol here. Stand tall, reset one leg out front. Hopefully a soft tap, glutes to whatever you're using, right? And then I would switch legs each time. If you want to do a little pop switch, you're welcome to, so long as you feel stable. Arms are probably reaching out as we sit down. Give yourself a little bit of counterweight there. And then likely inhale as we sit, exhale as we stand. Tap that front heel down a little bit if you need it for help. 10 seconds to go. After pistol squats, plank with hip rotation. 5. Yeah, drop the forearms, guys. Hips up over the top. Nice, big side to side here. And again, if my hips go to my right-hand side, I smash my left forearm down, right? So be very focused on the opposing side and keeping it planted tight. Doesn't have to be fast. Trying to almost disconnect the hips from the rib cage so the hips can move. 15 seconds. After plank with hip rotation, single leg RDL with a curl at the top. 8 seconds. 3. Good, pick your weights up, switch sides. We talk about it a lot, but lead through the heel. My leg almost starts this move, right? Heel comes up first, reaching down, right to the curl. So trying to keep the back flat, not necessarily reaching for depth, right? Everything stays drawn back and down, shoulders are packed. And then dependent on your weights, you can always squeeze the biceps for a little extra at the top if you need to. 20 seconds here, guys. Feel that hamstring get stretched out on the way down. After single leg RDL curl, in 15 seconds, push up with a pulse, again, at the bottom. 8 seconds. Good, drop to knees or toes. 1 push-up, pulse at the bottom. And elongate that pulse a little bit. Say 4 to 6 inches there. Shoulders stay packed. If you can start from your toes, fantastic. If you're going from toes, maybe separate each rep with a nice pause, right? Prep yourself for that next rep. Rib cage stays smashed down. Lats are as active as we can make them. They should be acting as brakes. 15 seconds out, and then a rest period. 8. 2. I feel bad coming into this series, but it's okay. First thing, mini skaters, left to right. Torso comes up, take your switch, right? If I want a little more height, I lead to this arm a little more aggressively, right? I swing this one to set my body up for a little more height. Number 2, side plank with a drop. Pretty simple, but we're trying to activate that oblique, right? So this is a normal one, right? When I get up, I'm trying to drive that shoulder down, so more oblique activation. And then we go into slow push-ups, slow both ways. And then we go into dips. 5 seconds out. What's number 1? Mini skaters. Try to bring the torso upright on that transition. Swing this arm through, right? Recatch, but the body comes vertical on the switch. Don't worry about the speed or the lateral distance unless you've then mastered that back leg coming nice and high. So focus on the single leg RDL aspect of this. That back leg coming high, open hips up. And then you may add some speed or distance, but it should be a really heavy single leg RDL. If we can, that opposite hand comes down to the toes, reach down. Nice job, Jim. Amongst everybody else, everybody's doing good. 10 seconds out. Number 2, not bad, side plank, hip drop. 5. Go grab a forearm, drop the hips, then drive that shoulder down at the top. So you're forcing the hips up into about as high of a position as you can, but then you're thinking about narrowing the distance between the rib cage and the hip bone by pulling the hips in and sinking the rib cage down. So it's a really big side crunch at the top of the kind of hip drive. You guys should all be able to find it. If you need to, that bottom knee can come down on the ground, right? Reducing the effort a bit. 15 seconds. 8. After this, slow push-ups. 3. The pace on both directions here should be the same. So maybe 3 to 5 seconds on the drop. And then 3 to 5 seconds on the press. If you go 8 seconds on the way down, it should be 8 seconds on the way up. So set yourself up for success. We've got 30 seconds here of work. Slow on the way down, slow on the way up. Do your best to not lay on the floor when you get down there. It's very enticing, right? 20 seconds. After these, we have some sort of tricep isolation extension. 10 seconds. Dips if you're able to. Wall triceps if not. 5. Good. Find something here. Dips or wall triceps. If you're doing dips, focus on that tricep squeeze at the top, right? As I come up, I really drive the palms down, flex the triceps, and drive the shoulders down also. So there is a good lat and tricep pinch. Kelly, wall triceps look good. 25 seconds out, guys. After triceps, back to mini skaters. There's a lot of work here in the tricep extension, but it's a great time to try to get your breathing back under control. 10 seconds. Mini skaters next. 5. Good. We're focused on the single leg RDL aspect more than anything else, allowing that back leg to swing high. The higher that back leg comes and the more glute activation you find on it, perhaps the more stable you feel, right? Because then the hips are kind of forced open and they're both tight. And then if you're looking for slightly more height, you drive that arm through, right? The arm that's extended behind you. Sell out with an uppercut. 15 seconds. Then you look kind of ninja. After this, side plank hip drops. 5. Malay, are you okay on the side planks? Yeah or no? Okay. Shoot the hips. Take that pause. Take that squeeze. I would think about reducing the amount of reps here. Slow them down and really focus mostly on that squeeze at the top. Pinch it all together. Take a nice slow drop with the rib cage open up, right? Stretch the oblique at the bottom, and then drive for height. Pinch, squeeze. 20 seconds. Plenty of time here. Slow push-ups next. There's this really small spot I can stand, and I'm in like the sun. It's nice. It's a little blinding though. 3. Good. Slow push-up, guys. Push-up position. Remember, imagine the cadence. If it's a 3 to 5 second count down, same thing coming up. Work your breathing here. You might get a couple breaths in each direction. If so, keep the core tight, keep the glutes on. Everything stays snug both ways. Once we finish push-ups and dips, that will be the end of our 4 series. We'll have 2 series left. Ten seconds. 2. Good. Find something here, guys, for tricep extensions, whether it's dips or against the wall. If you're against the wall, keep the hips intact. Everything moving together. Light on the elbows into wall. Bill, Jim, Tiffany, you guys are focused on a good tricep squeeze at the top, right? As I extend, I drive the palms down, flex the triceps, and then drive those shoulders down as well. Think about getting as tall off of your platform as you can, so press yourself away from it. 15 seconds. 10. After this, a nice rest period. Two. Number 1, single leg, rear delt fly. We've talked about kind of pulling my hands up away from the knee a little bit, right? If I'm here and I side raise, I have a lot of traps. If I instead let my hands come a little higher and I pull behind myself, then I should have more mid-back. So starting position to start up, instead of pulling vertical, pull back behind yourself. So you're pulling more perpendicular. Number 2 is Conley's. We're on our back, opposite elbow, opposite opposite knee, if you imagine I'm laying down, is this guy, right? Single side, right to left, right to left. Number 3, squat jump with a floor touch. We'll talk about it. We're good. 10 seconds out. Lightweight for flies or weightless with a thumb drawing behind. Here we go. But everybody starts hands just above the knee a little bit more, right? And then draw behind the body instead of straight to the ceiling. If you feel a lot of shoulders, change the angle a little bit. If the weights are heavy, the elbows stay bent. If the weights are light enough, the arms stay long. There can be a lot of shoulder movement, right? I can almost think about it like a chest fly. As I come down, my shoulders can reach down. As I draw back, I open the rib cage. 15 seconds out, and then we're on our backs for a Conley. 10. 5. If you need a demo, I am demoing. My right elbow comes across, left knee. This arm that is not behind my head stays up in the air, right? I'm not rolling onto that shoulder. As we reach the elbow back, open the rib cage, right? Nice big rib cage, separating the elbow from foot or from heel. They come through in a nice crunch. Big breath in as we stretch back. Nice exhales that come across the body. 20 seconds to go. Next thing, squat jump with a floor touch. That is, if the back allows, we'll talk about it. No rush. Finish these Conleys first. 10 seconds. 3. Good. I like a little bit of torso rotation, right? So as I reach right arm to floor, I rotate in almost across the body. As I switch sides, I'm trying to come vertical a little bit, right? So I'm not always bent over. If it's too much on the back, squat jumps are good, or limit that depth. Think about as I land, right? It's a hinge down, so it's pretty quick on transition. I land almost upright, then it's real quick. Shoot the hips back, drop the chest down. 15 seconds out. And wait a little while to tell you what's next. We're going to go into mountain climbers. If you have discs, fantastic. Sliders next. Mountain climbers. 5. Knees should stay tight to floor. The first 10 seconds are killer. After that, you'll settle into a nice, easy pace. Think mostly about trying to sustain the duration. So set yourself up for success. Nice and slow, knees tight to floor. "20 seconds. If you need to rest, try to pike and set the knees down. Control the effort. Put more weight in the hands, right? Keep those knees tight to floor. Next thing, single leg, rear delt flies. Not so bad. 5. Good. Grab that one foot. Start with the hands a little higher. Draw back behind the body. Lightweight or no weight. Front knee has a little crimp in it. Back leg stays long. Back glute stays tight. Leg stays extended. 25. Ten seconds, guys. After this, Conleys will be on our back, the other elbow, other knee this time. 3. Remember, we're stretching the elbow as far away from the opposing heel as we can. So open up, nice exhale, draw across the body. If the mobility is there, the elbow comes to the knee. You can even tap that knee and then push that leg out. Big inhale as we reach. Nice exhale as everything comes together. "20 seconds. Next thing's that squat jump if we can. Opposite arm through, opposite arm through. A little bit of torso rotation as we land. 10 seconds. Maybe 2 left here. Nice, slow, big exhale. Pull everything together. 3. You probably did more than 2. That was a bad estimate. Here we go, on our feet. We know that mountain climbers are next, right? But we're still going to commit to the station. Everybody's up. Everybody's already going, wow, look at you guys. How fast are you? My goodness. Nice and soft to the landing. Let that shoulder reach in a little bit, right? Turn the body in. Turn the body in. 25 seconds, guys. Remember, the first 10 seconds on climbers are hard. It's kind of that transition period, right? How do I stabilize my body? What do I use? 15 seconds. Just commit to the first 10 seconds, and then figure out how to manage the effort. Stay on. 8. If we need to, in the mountain climbers, we pike to rest, if possible. 2. Then grab your discs, put your feet on them. Push, push, push. It's going to be more weight on your hands, right? That's how you're going to survive. Knees stay tight to the floor. Talk yourself into the effort. After this, the 50-second rest period. Little mental toughness here. How much can we endure, right? It's good. We're good for 20 seconds. Don't let it scare you. Stay on. Ten. 5. Good. Nice job, guys. Rest. If you have 2 weights that are the same, that's great. Yeah. Number 1, if you want to set 2 dumbbells, if you have adjustable dumbbells, great. Number 1, lateral lunge. Right, we're going to stay off to one side. My left leg, my supporting leg, stays long as I sit down. As I come off the side, I don't sit forward, right? Don't be weird. Sit back into it. Number 2, bicycles on our back. Left to right, left to right. Number 3, double dumbbell, squat, curl, overhead press. Have a sit, curl, overhead press. Last one, eccentric push-up. Sorry, it's our last series though. First thing, in 5 seconds, lateral lunge. So you got one weight under chin, right? You're gonna sit off to the side. The leg you're reaching out toward is gonna be your absorbing leg. You can hold under chin if you want. If you got 2 weights at work, in the arms are fine. Then find yourself on the heel of that leg you're going out toward, right? So as we sit down, sit into the heel, push your bum back. Torso angle can get a little sharp, right? We get down into it here, that's fine. You're gonna drive through that leg. So my right leg, the one I land on, I'm pushing off that leg to get back up. Really drive off that leg. 10 seconds out, then on our back for bicycles. 5. Good, low back stays tight on the floor through the bicycles. They don't have to be slow today. Whatever pace feels comfortable. Think about our Russian twist. We try to see how far we can rotate the sternum. Think about the same thing with the bicycles. As my right elbow comes to my left knee, how far can I rotate my left elbow back? Right, as I transition, how far can I rotate away? So still in that dead bug position, low back anchored, but then throw a lot of rotation in there. In 15 seconds, 2 dumbbells, squat, curl, overhead press. 10. 5. Good. It's a pretty quick squat, right? As I come up, overhead. It should not feel like a shoulder press because I go straight from the legs to the curl and overhead. So be pretty brisk here. If your back gives you any trouble, you can always use your forearms against the outside of your knees. So I usually press here, my knees out to my forearms to give myself a break. I cheat a lot. You guys don't see it, but I'll tell you now. My back's bugging me. There's breaks. My forearms go into my knees, right? It gives me a nice kind of soft end point to where I can break if I need to. I cheat on all my demos. Can't demo this stuff. It's too hard, man. After squat, curl, overhead press, eccentric push-ups. 2. Good. Grab your base. This one we're committing to a very slow drop. It's going to be a little bit of shoulders coming off of the squat, curl, overhead press. Just commit to the first one. Get through the first one. If you need your knees on the way up, great. And then if you can, pop back to toes. Knowing that goblet lateral lunge is the next station, you can convince yourself to put in a little bit of extra work here. 15 seconds. Ten. 2. Good. Let's switch sides on our lateral lunge. So weight under chin. Sit off to the other side. Remember, hips back, and then I drive off of this leg to get myself up. So nice, strong push. Weight's going to be in the heel of the landing leg. Torso can lean forward quite a bit. That's fine. You might find your knee is over your toes. That's all right. Just sit back as much as you can. And then find that stationary leg being long, right? So push back in the hips. Straighten out the long leg. 15 seconds out. Second thing's bicycles. Tempo is up to you. 10. Good, here we go. Bikes, guys. Left to right, right to left. Remember, lots of torso rotation. Search for that back elbow to come back away. Probably even find it kind of stretch back behind you on the floor as you pivot. If we need to regress a little bit, we don't put our legs out so far. If we can, the leg stretches all the way out, heels close to the floor, right? So big extension, big extension. In 20 seconds, squat, curl, overhead press. We're almost done. Good. 10 seconds, guys. Good luck.
That's a good exercise.
Gotta stay warm just in case.
Yeah, sure.
2. Good. Big squat, big curl, big overhead press. Remember, use those knees against the forearms a little bit for a break if you need to. It'll save the back, right? There's so much weight in motion there and so much speed. We got one station after this. Last thing's those eccentric push-ups. Use your legs here. Drive through the feet, swing the bells up overhead. Not quite a snatch, but it's more of a snatch probably than a curl and overhead press. All at once. Don't let the dumbbells slow down. 10 seconds. 5. Good. Eccentric push-ups. Toes if we can. Knees if we need to. Or knees at some point. Limit the reps here. Shoot for quality, sure, but also limit them. If you need to, instead of thinking about braking on the way down, Bill and Jim, eccentric push-ups. Instead of thinking about brakes on the way down, think about pressing on the way down, right? Press into the floor. Slow yourself down. Last 20 seconds. 10. 2. Let's rest. First stretch, standing quad. So stand up, grab onto one foot. We'll go in 10 seconds. A little bit of activation of the core and that foot, right? If my right foot is in my hand, I press down a little bit. but I also sink into my core, right? Don't extend the back, right? Load the core instead. Stay stable. Don't get distracted. Nice job, guys. Happy Friday. We'll make this stretch pretty quick. We'll do a quad, a hamstring, and probably call it good. If you need to do a little bit of chest or neck or core or a little back on your own, sweet. 10 seconds. Shake it out. Feel good. We'll switch sides. Save my day, right? Not extending to the back. Less of this. More of starting to pull that hip through, right? Roll the hip bone under. Get some core in there. So your knee might not be actually under your body, right? We think of this being a nice stretch. That's more like a low back extension, right? Maybe a little bit of hip flexion, but round into it. And put some force down into that hand. Then you should feel lots of quad. Lots of quad. 5 seconds. We'll go single leg hamstring next. If you prefer a foot on something, right? Lean forward to the foot, great. If you want to do a seated single leg, that works well too. I don't have anything close to me, so I'm going to do a seated one. But if you have something nearby, you want to put your foot on it, good. Either way. I always tuck the chin, right? Round the back a little bit. Start there, start from the head. Work down. My flexibility is almost getting better since I stretch with you guys 3 times a week. It's good. It's good for me. Almost. 2. Good. We've got plenty of time to switch. 10 seconds till we go. Same thing on the side. Start from the head, around the back a little bit. Lean into it. Breathing should be calmed down a bit. Ten. 2. Good. Rest, guys. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining me. Nice to see you all. Let's